What is up, guys? Sandy Popsicle here, and today, I will be doing another video that is very similar to the Purple Guy Busted video. If you like Five Nights at Freddy's, check that one out for the almost definite answer of who Purple Guy is, which I'm sure most of you already know, but maybe you've heard a different person. Anyway, today we're going to be talking about, or I'm going to be talking about, and I guess you, if you comment anything, Five Nights at Freddy's 4, which I'm sure pretty much all of you, that was a little bit redundant, sorry. I know that all of you have probably either played or heard about, for sure heard about, if you're watching this video. So, yeah. There's a lot, actually, let me think about this real fast. There's quite a bit of theories going on about Five Nights at Freddy's 4, but none of them we know for sure, and I think I know why. What is the big answer to Five Nights at Freddy's? What's the total package? Like, what's the thesis? There isn't one. There's an infinite number of realities of Five Nights at Freddy's possible in the game. There's just too much information to actually exist in the real world. So, in accord, we aren't able to put that to logic. Basically, if that kind of confused you, what I'm saying is, it doesn't end, and I'm pretty sure Scott Cawthon, I'm not sure if I pronounced that right, knows that too. I think Five Nights at Freddy's 4 is actually just a teaser game for it. I think he's got something a little bit bigger planned. I have no way of knowing that, but in the near future, I bet something's going to come up. And, it's kind of like hard to explain. The Bite of 87, we'll start with that. Five Nights at Freddy's 4 is about the child who was bitten by a golden Fredbear and lost his frontal lobe. Now, if you watch the game theorists, or game theory, whatever they're called, they've kind of like dropped a lot of their videos. Like, they're kind of getting not as good as they could have been, but they did do a FNAF 4 theory video about Scott Cawthon getting it all wrong, and him about the science of the Bite of 87, and him not being able to be scared because of his frontal lobe is missing. So in case you didn't watch that video, basically what the video is about is, because Golden Fredbear, bit the frontal lobe off, people without the frontal lobe have been proven to not be able to be afraid. So, and they lose interest immediately. Like, so if the kid, if he's missing the frontal lobe and he looks in the hallway and there's nothing there, he'll just go back and lay down in bed and do whatever. He won't check again to make sure that nothing has changed. But if that's true, I'm pretty sure Scott Cawthon knew this, because we know from his past game series that Scott Cawthon is very smart in his choices. So I'm pretty sure Five Nights at Freddy's 4 is to throw all of us as the players, or theorizers, if that's a word, off balance. Yeah, the reason I'm not all hyper this video, which I never really am, is because it's kind of dark and weird. But, basically, that means that he has a higher risk of being supposedly killed, correct? If he's not paying attention, right? No, not necessarily. The monsters, obviously, another thing that game theorists talk about, are all in his imagination. Obviously, they're all just plush animals, but he sees them as these shark-like creatures with glowing red eyes. He's, rather than seeing his imagination, though, he's seeing more of his reflection, metaphorically. When you think about it, okay, as the player in all three games, as I said in my Purple Guy Busted video, no, the caller man, the phone guy, as we call him, is not Purple Guy. You are. Phone guy is all three games. I mean, the fourth game isn't even relevant to the other three. It's like a game in its own self. It's not part of a series. Okay. It's like a whole nother story. He could start an entire new series off of it, and then he could make supposedly the ending to the game, like was Five Nights at Freddy's 3, we thought, but it turned out to be Five Nights at Freddy's 4, but it turned out to be Five Nights at Freddy's 5, but we could keep on going and going and going. It's almost like the quantum physics. Check out Minute Physics' video about this, but quantum physics believes that what's called a mini worlds theory. It's like, say you go to PetSmart, okay, and you ask your mom to get a puppy, and she says no, so you just go home. Okay, well, in an alternate, or as most people call it, parallel universe, you do get the puppy, and your life goes on from that, and different things happen and all. And it goes on an infinite branch like that. So in Five Nights at Freddy's 4, these monsters, the reason I said they were more of his own reflection, he's seeing the bite of 87, the kid who got bitten, okay, was the same time Purple Guy came around, correct? Well, maybe not. Maybe he's seeing who he's gonna become. So, basically, like, what I'm saying is, the kid who got the bite of 87 is Purple Guy, just not yet. When Five Nights at Freddy's 1 first started, so did Purple Guy, and so did the bite of 87 kid. I'm just gonna call him Jimmy, for convenience. So, but in Five Nights at Freddy's 3, Jimmy isn't there. Purple Guy is. And supposedly, it's kind of like Five Nights at Freddy's is backwards, okay? We see the game, in the mini games on Five Nights at Freddy's 3, you're supposed to go into a certain room, right? But you can't, because your computer chip doesn't know about that room. Only Purple Guy can. He goes in there and dismantles you. But he didn't actually. The whole Five Nights at Freddy's 3 game is played backwards. So it's like an infinite loop in different changing realities. Purple Guy actually fixes you, okay, puts you back together. The children, he put them, like, he either could have put them in those costumes, and then the marionette, it doesn't have anything to do with that, or it could have happened the right way around that we see it. It's like, that's the many worlds part of it. It makes sense either way around. It's, okay, if I were to ask you a question, in Five Nights at Freddy's, which is better, life or death? Well, here in real life, that's asking me, which is better, hot chocolate or cocoa? It's not like even a logical question. Oop. Okay, that was kind of creepy when it shut off. It's like almost the same thing, but in a different form. You know, cocoa isn't with milk, and it's not hot necessarily. but it still has the same flavor. Five Nights at Freddy's 3 is played backwards, okay? But in Five Nights at Freddy's 4, we see it as forwards, but it's in the same series. That's why I said it could go on an infinite series. Now, this whole video might just confuse you to death, and it's kind of confusing me. Basically, what I'm saying is, it'll be forever. The children aren't going to escape, unlike Mandapony's Balloons video. They're not going to escape. It was like their own choice that they do this. So, but the city that Five Nights at Freddy's in, it's not like that. It's only Five Nights at Freddy's. It's like its own universe. Another thing in quantum physics we call a brain, not the thing in our head, spelled B-R-A-N-E. It's like short for membrane. So Five Nights at Freddy's, the building itself is a brain itself. There's no outside city. Why do you think you can't escape? It's like asking to go to a different reality. But even in that different reality, maybe Purple Guy's the good guy instead of the other way around. They're all the bad guy, or the antagonist, depending on who you are. You can't escape. In Survive the Night, it says, let's see, never mind, forget that. Anyway, so I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Thank you for watching. If you are completely confused, I'm going to try to do a summary right now. I kind of just did. Like, I made it as simple as it possibly can. And be watching for Five Nights at Freddy's 5 or the real Five Nights at Freddy's 4, because I know something like that is going to happen. I'm like 100% for sure. I haven't heard it from anything. I'm just, Scott Cawthon's too smart to make this the end of his game series. But if he does, it'll make my theory even more correct. So yeah, I hope you guys, I already said that. Leave a like, subscribe for more Five Nights at Freddy's theories. Check my Purple Guy Busted video out. I tell you who Purple Guy is and give explanations for that. Yeah, so basically that's what Five Nights at Freddy's is. The meaning of Five Nights at Freddy's is that there isn't one. There's not a meaning to life. There's not a secret to life. Death is the answer. Suicide is the answer. But there's no question.